Hey, welcome to another episode of Something in the Water podcast, streaming out of Waycross, Georgia, brought to you by Caution Light Media. And I'm Sean Clark, and this is Uncle Dave Griffin. He can talk to you, I guess.
Hey, folks, glad to have y'all again. Our esteemed and honored guest this week is Mr. Josh Kirkland, or as Sean calls him.
As of when he walked in.
As of today.
Yeah, as of when I walked in the door, crawling King Kirkland. So you were already calling him King Kirkland or old King Kirkland.
Matter of fact, the reason we're so hip on these nicknames for Josh is that he is, without a mistake, the finest blues guitar player in the Southeast, and
possibly the world.
He's right here from Waycross, Georgia.
I think he can give him a run for the money for sure.
And so we heavy with the nicknames like old King Kirkland.
Yeah, I don't have no nickname. They just call me Sean. Yeah. I say, hey, Sean, get out of the way. Trying to work.
But we were, let's see, a couple of episodes ago, we had Jason Lee as our guest.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and I didn't
know.
He was speaking highly about you. And he told a story that I had heard, and that in your early days, you would, when you were learning to play, you would take a stack of CDs, and he said CDs and magazines, guitar magazines. Yeah, CDs.
Dirty magazines.
There were no CDs when I started playing.
Records. Oh, okay.
It was cassette tapes, bro.
Cassette tapes. There you go. Yeah. All right. And you would take this shitload of music into your bedroom about the time everybody else was going to bed, and you'd stay up all night listening to every song on these cassettes, front and back. And I guess pretty much learning that material till you had it down. Is that about how you did it?
Pretty much, yeah. It was cassette tapes for sure.
Yeah.
And just keep rewinding, listening.
Yeah.
Jason Lee said that, huh?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
I grew up across the street from him.
Oh, yeah. You grew up.
We grew up across the street.
That was his story too.
Yeah. That's right. He was best friends with my little brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were the same age.
Yeah. And your daddy, I guess he was fairly responsible for pushing you in a direction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Your daddy was in a lot of garage bands here when I was growing up. Ronnie Kirkland, organist, keyboard player. What was the bands that he was in?
Georgia Power was one of them.
Georgia Power, that was a band from the 70s.
Good name.
Pack House,
I remember that one. Yeah.
Changing Times.
Yes, there you go. That one's back.
Way back.
Each one of them goes a little further back. Changing Times was Ross Speed, wasn't it? Was he in the Changing Times?
I'm not sure. Chip Wiles.
Chip Wiles was in Changing Times. Okay. Yeah, my memory fails me a little bit on those old 60s groups. But
was it Gene Sapp?
Gene Sapp, yes. Yeah. That was it. They were the ones with the Nehru jackets and psychedelic stuff, you know. I'm sure that it affected. But your daddy was involved in all of that scene.
He loved it
back then. So
yep.
When you came along, do you remember when it was that you first just said, was it because of your daddy that you?
Well, I mean, I
grew
up around it. I was always around it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't remember knowing that I wanted to play music until I heard the first Van Halen album.
Yeah.
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 So that was it.
Hell yeah.
I guess it's kind of cliche.
How old were you then? About then?
12.
12 when you started learning guitar?
I heard that first album, the first Van Halen album,
Mm-hmm.
and asked for a guitar for my birthday, 13th birthday. That's where it began.
Heck yeah.
And your daddy, of course, your daddy didn't know anything about the guitar, did he?
And he could play some chords and stuff.
Yeah.
He showed me my first chords.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was just big on the Allman Brothers and Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah. Was there somebody in town that helped you, steer you?
Well, Bobby Boyette was a guitar player that played with my dad.
Yep.
And I used to go hang out at his house and watch him play. And
Yeah.
that kind of inspired me a little bit. But no, it wasn't really anybody else. I just woodshed in my bedroom for a couple of years.
So you're pretty much by ear.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Bobby was a lead guitar player for a band called The Wall of Sound.
Wall of Sound.
And then in the early 70s, they changed it to Delta.
Yeah.
And they were another well-known Waycross band that were represented by a booking agency, and went up and down the highways all over the Southeast, playing frat parties and anything that paid money. Yeah, that was a good band though. Had 2 female vocalists in it, Connie and Rita.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ronnie was in that too, or
Connie and
No, he
Rita
wasn't.
McDaniel.
Yeah, I don't think Daddy was in that band.
No, I don't believe he was. The early version of Wall of Sound was, I believe it was Danny Altman on drums and Gary Brown on keyboards. And Gary Brown was a fine drummer. But it was always Bobby Boyette on lead guitar and his brother Jerry Boyette on bass. Then the Delta band changed personnel quite a bit. Madison Gibson was the keyboard player, and Wayne Hutchison was the drummer.
Madison played keyboards?
Madison Gibson.
Yeah, he played keyboard. I only knew him from playing banjo, I guess. But
Yeah, that's
Banjo.
the same guy.
Oh, yeah.
well, I was in a band with Jonathan, his son,
Uh-huh.
playing bass.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
No,
pretty,
I was just too
pretty wild.
young to remember all that, really.
Yeah. Well, you were influenced by Eddie Van Halen.
I mean, that's what made me want to start playing guitar.
That's
yeah.
what opened your eyes to
Yeah.
it. Yeah. And you practiced and you practiced and you practiced. And what made you say, all right, I'm ready? Was it just like somebody make that decision for you, or was like, you gonna be in my band?
Well, I don't know. Daddy worked at the Express, though.
He was,
And they had bands
DJ,
every
wasn't
night.
he?
Yeah, they had
Yeah.
bands every night. And he would let me go in with him. And I got to get up and sit in with a band. And
Mhm.
I guess that's kind of where it started.
Yeah.
And when I was 16, I got an offer to play in a band playing bars. And
Who was that?
they were called Reflections, I think.
A traveling band? I mean, not from Waycross?
They were from Waycross.
They were?
They played just all the old honky tonks,
Yeah.
121 Club and Porn After.
Who was in that band?
Randy Tarpley,
Oh, God. I remember Randy.
yeah, and Bobby Gay Jr.
Yeah.
and Charles Charles Davis.
I remember that name too.
Charles Davis. I know that name.
Yeah.
The big guy that plays guitar.
Yeah. Who played bass?
Dennis Westbrook.
Dennis West.
He was originally from New York.
All right.
So you were 16 playing in bars?
Yeah, my daddy had to sign waivers.
Did it frighten you, or did you fall right into it?
He's probably doing high kicks. Rock and roll.
I wasn't that confident.
Really?
No, but I don't remember being scared or anything.
Well, so some of them places was
Some of it was rough, so
Yeah.
I did see some stuff that was a little scary.
What kind of rig did you have back then, I wonder? What guitar did you play?
Huh? That's a good question.
I mean, did you ever go through the Ibanez thing
I did, but I don't think I was playing one then.
or Kramer or anything like that?
No.
Was you always like a Strat man, even back then, with Van Halen stuff?
Yeah, and I was playing a Les Paul maybe at one point, I think. Seems like. It's hard to remember that far back. So much has happened since then.
yeah.
But
Well, the old music, the music is pretty much what you've done, though, ain't it?
yeah, since then I've
Yeah, really.
been fortunate enough to make a living doing it.
Yeah.
Some recent bands you've been in through the years. I mean, you've had the Josh Kirkland band,
Right.
and with various lineups, and you also played with Chris Ryder and Traveling Riverside Band.
Mm-hmm. About 10, 11 years now.
Yeah.
Damn. It's amazing. You also, I guess,
You did the Stevie Ray tribute.
Stevie Ray Vaughan tribute. What was that?
Yeah, I
Early
did that.
2000s? Or
Yeah,
mid
like 2003,
Yeah.
2004. I did that for a little while. Got to go out to Texas a little bit
Mhm.
and up to Virginia.
I bet those were some cool shows. People really dig it
Yeah,
because you can play just like him and sing just like him.
yeah, it was
Mhm.
fun. Got to play in Corpus Christi at the Concrete Street Amphitheater.
Mhm.
Had a few thousand people out there in front of me, so that was a lot of fun.
Mhm.
Heck yeah.
You got to dress like him too, and everything,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Yeah.
Had that flat black hat
Mhm.
and poncho. Was it
Yeah,
poncho?
well, no, I didn't wear a poncho. It was like
No.
a kimono.
Oh, a kimono. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Felt a little silly.
Shit, man.
Well,
something
that
I
thing
had
you
about
pulled it
that,
off. I think you pulled it off better than anybody could have ever done. Like
Well,
you looked the
tribute
part,
bands.
played the part.
tribute bands are a money-making thing.
Yeah,
now.
there was money in it.
when you get the right band, you know.
Right. There was
And,
money in it.
Corporations, you know, they'll eat that kind of stuff up. They'll
Yeah.
put big bucks up for it, you know, and so you got to do that. That was pretty awesome. But it was a lot of travel, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
And was that?
Were y'all driving out there? Or did you fly out there?
No, we drove.
Yeah, Albert
drove all
Gatton,
the way
was
to-
he in that band?
Albert Gatton was in it for a little while. Lee O'Neill was in
Yeah.
it. I went all the way up to Vermont to play at
Wow.
one time
Yeah.
on a boat. Played on a boat.
Cool.
Keith McAlpin played bass?
Yeah, Keith McCallum played bass, and that was Albert on drum.
Yeah.
Little Albert.
Yeah. And Paul was on one of the last runs of that, wasn't he?
Paul, no, he wasn't in that, but when I just kept doing the trio just under my name.
Oh, he was in the trio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Paul played in that for a little while.
What you got going on these days?
I'm doing the trio too. Just playing with whoever will have me right now. Just acoustic work, and then doing the trio thing with different rhythm sections.
Mm-hmm. Doing solo work too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then doing the Traveling Riverside thing too, here and there. Just mixing it all up.
Well, I just got a message back from that I was telling you about a gig that possibly for next Thursday. It says, "Did you get somebody for the party? If not, Josh Kirkland is available." She says, "No, he's probably out of budget."
No way. That's what she said.
That's what. I appreciate the follow
That's
up.
Crawling King Kirkland you talking
Come
about.
on.
You're kidding me, man.
At least let's negotiate. I'll tell her you'll do it for nothing. How about that?
I don't know about that.
No,
She gonna have to pay to see the Crawling King.
We'll get back with her in a minute.
Crawling King Snake Kirkland.
Say, come on now. You don't say he's probably out of
Out
budget.
of budget, huh?
And you say, how much will it cost? That's what you say. That's how you carry on a conversation.
That's because she knows how good you are.
Well, you are good. That's for sure.
Played on the Newfanglers CD with us.
Yes, sir.
I was proud to be a part of it. That was a lot of fun.
Well, you kicked the shit out of them
I might
songs.
be biased, but that's the best solo you ever did.
Oh, yeah.
And I love them all, but you never played anything.
It was
bad.
just
Phone call?
Phone call.
Yeah.
Woo.
I remember
Yeah.
recording some of my songs at Crosstown Music.
In the back there, I
Paul.
remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And he just played that for me, and I just, while I was recording my stuff, I just
Oh.
played it off the
Oh,
cuff.
okay. Cool.
Yep. I think Paul's words were, I think that was the second take or something.
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
maybe even the
I
first
don't-
take. But you were like, let me do it again. He's like, hell no. You're done. Like, no.
It might have been the first take.
It's
It's
amazing.
kinda
And
raw.
if you want to hear it, you go anywhere that's streaming, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and look up the Newfanglers Blood in the Pines album.
Mm-hmm.
And the song we're talking about is Phone Call, but you also played on
Played on the first track, Dobro.
Oh, yeah.
You did a Dobro track on that one.
and then Family Reunion. There was
Yeah.
four
Family
solos on there.
Reunion, yeah.
That's right.
You were probably the first solo, I think.
Mm-hmm.
We all had
With
to follow
Laney.
your ass.
Huh?
So everybody had to follow your ass. You come up here with
You did what everybody do, 16
It was
bars,
Laney Strickland, right?
then Laney,
Laney
then you,
John Pope.
and
and
John
then John
Pope.
Pope was the fourth. And y'all were all so different. Stylistically different. You know, it was just,
I shouldn't even been in there.
God, no, you should have too, because yours was just, it was totally perfect. It was, they were all just,
So what was the other track?
Phone Call, Family Reunion.
And my name's Hollis Shepherd.
My
That's
name is
right.
Hollis Shepherd.
You played Dobro on there.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that was it.
Yeah, that's the ones I played on.
If we put him on any more tracks than that, it would have had to been the
Now you played on
Crawling
my
King
album,
Kirkland
though.
Fanglers.
You did some work on My American Spirit in 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was some kick ass stuff
Yeah,
too.
it was fun,
it was
man.
just as almost as good as Phone Call, in my opinion, as far as
You're playing on his stuff.
That-
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
well, that second track on my album, what's the name of it?
I can't remember the order.
Yeah. Anyhow.
That's a great
Pull the
album.
gun out.
Yeah, but the title of it, I can't remember.
You wrote it.
Just because you write them don't mean you know them.
Right.
And then you played on the Hank Williams song.
Oh yeah,
Lonesome. That was a good lead.
That's a great
lead
song.
guitar solo on that one too. Oh man,
trying to remember the name of that.
You can always bring it, man. You just always, and it don't take you long either. That's what's so good about it. In fact, it's just like Paul was saying, Sean was saying about Paul. You get in the studio and you kind of over critique yourself.
I do, man. It's stressful for me. It ain't like playing
we're sitting
live.
We're sitting in there listening.
Well, that's the best damn thing I ever heard. You're like,
wow,
man, that kind of a little bit. Like, no,
hush.
Put it back in the box.
I know I stress everybody out.
I just can't fathom being so good that you're like, that sucks. And I'm like, what?
Oh man,
Yeah. It was a lot of fun though, playing on those records.
yeah.
I'm glad I got to do it.
Yeah, we was the better for it. But we was the better for it for having you. And
Oh man, those are great songs though. I'm proud to be on them.
we had a good time doing it, that's for sure.
We'll have to do some more. Me and Dave's got
I know, man.
Me and Dave's got a
Oh
project.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Do you really?
I was just thinking about that.
Waycross Stagecoach.
I was listening to Drake.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I was listening to
Huh.
Drake for me earlier today.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Me and Dave are always.
That's one that we
Mhm.
need you on. We need you all over the album. I'm sure,
yeah.
but
Call me.
we're gonna piecemeal it together as far as
Kind of like the Newfanglers, just lay down
Yeah.
the basics and then bring
Right.
somebody in.
and then just say who does this sound like, and it'll be like, okay, well, we'll call Josh up.
So it's just y'all. Two of
it's
y'all
just
doing an
me
album
and
together?
songs that Sean and I wrote together.
Oh.
Connor's laying down the drums.
Connor's
We're
putting
recording
down
it
the
here.
drums, and we only got a couple of tracks so far, but
We got a lot on paper, but as far as breaking the ice on it, we've started too.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Where y'all recording it at?
right here in this room.
Here.
Mm-hmm.
And your name's already come up about it. So
Well, just gotta let me know. I'll be there.
There's this song that my old buddy from Valdosta gave us the idea of. He said, won't you write a song that equates smoking pot and sex? So there you go, folks. And not that we're huge fans of either one, but I was like,
Is that what he said?
yeah,
that's what
no, that's what I said.
Dave's asexual. He just
You want to listen to it?
sure.
Sure.
You got it pulled up.
Oh yeah,
Which one is this?
Drug for me.
This is a rough
it's
mix.
called a drug
This is-
for me.
this is
But
an unfinished
what
thing.
we did was we sat in John's he shed. What do you call that thing? Backyard.
That's the devil's den.
He's got one. He got him one of them utility sheds.
And now everybody knows about
yeah.
it, Dave. Thanks God. No,
He got it from Lowe's if you want a good deal.
no.
No,
I couldn't
he
afford
got it
Lowe's.
Summers and
Summers.
and,
Summers.
and we sat out there, and I said, "This is what James Cocke suggested we write a song about." We took a look at that, and Sean said, "I think we can do something with that." And I said, "But we're not going to limit it to just pot smoking."
Like we started off
Yeah,
like we went through the explaining a sexual adventure.
equivalent. Yeah, like
Like it's all sexual, but to describe that sexual stuff, it's like the one line's about alcohol, one line's about weed, one line's about we just go through until it's like you're shooting up at the end. But it's not actually about drugs at all. It's about
not really.
the girl.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah,
no.
no.
I mean, well, I guess unless they're doing it together or something. But anyway, it was just a challenge to write something with, hey, write
And it
something
came
about
off.
this.
It came out pretty cool. The
It's
end
an
result.
A minor thing. It's kind of This is some outtake stuff.
Just drug for me.
Yeah, this is before it starts. This is just us messing around. Just as like we're rolling.
Upcoming new song from Waycross Stagecoach.
I want another shot. I love to drink you in. I'll have you on the rocks. You got me spinning. I wanna roll you up. I wanna pack it tight. You always fire me up until you got me stone blind. I'm in love with you. You're a drug for me. I can't shake you loose. You got me down on my knees.
Has a little
I like it.
Latin Mexican feel to it. Spanish.
I got a knot in my pocket. Let's have a little bump. You got my jaws a locking, and I can't get enough. You make my heart race. You push inside my veins. You make my eyes dilate till I can't think straight. I'm your lover, man, all strung out on you. In the palm of your hands, I'm addicted to you.
This is the part I think you'll have fun with right here. The solo.
I set you on my tongue and let it melt away until
Y'all want me on this one, huh?
undone.
Yeah.
This is the one you kept coming up on.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of this is scratch kind of. But
Yeah.
I'm in love with you. You're a drug for me. I can't shake you loose. You got me down on my
Go ahead and play along if you'd
knees.
like.
I'm your lover, man.
Yeah.
All strung
This
out on you.
chords coming up is the same as just before there, but it's got that
extended outro. So it's kind of like the phone call thing where this is all just an outro solo, you know.
and just builds and gets crazy.
Probably has some background atmosphere kind of stuff coming in. Kind of like the end of She's So Heavy or something like that, you know.
But anyhow, that goes on and on and on ad nauseum. And oh, okay. It didn't go on
Waycross Stagecoach.
as long as I thought it would. But yeah.
Some name I come up with way back, and I can't remember if it was when we were trying to come up with the Newfanglers or if it was after that.
Yeah. I don't remember, but it seemed to me like immediately we seized upon it as it's almost like, man, that sounds like a vehicle for a traveling road show, like this could be anybody. We could have
Interchangeable.
We could have
Right.
you one weekend and then have somebody else sitting in kind of like the
That'd be
Fly
a lot of
Burrito
fun,
Brothers.
man.
And have different little acts within that.
Yeah.
So it's like somebody goes up and does a set, and then we all do stuff together, like a traveling road
That'd be
show.
a lot of fun if it caught on.
If you can find a venue to
Right.
pay everybody,
Yeah.
it'd be a good time.
We'll give you $15 a man and a hamburger. And all the Pabst
But we
Blue
got
Ribbon
fire
they can
eaters.
drink.
We got fire eaters to
Well,
feed.
they'll get 15 too. Yep.
Y'all want to take a little break and come back and play some music?
Sounds good. We'll be right
do it.
back, folks.
Something in my brain won't let me stray. Something in my veins gonna find its way. Something in the water taught me how to pray. When that cold black water finds its way into your veins, you'll never be the same.
Well, hey, folks, we're back. And our guest this episode is Josh Kirkland from Waycross, Georgia. And I was very proud to have Josh on my solo CD back in 2010 called American Spirit. We're going to do a song, the second song on that CD called Long Way to Go.
I took the gun out of my mouth and shot it in the dirt. You ain't worth all of this pain. You ain't worth the hurt. Oh, my soul got a long way to go. Oh, my soul got a long way to go. I opened up Pandora's box, took a look inside, and understand why it was locked. I know now why you lied. Oh, my soul got a long way to go. Oh, my soul got a long way to go. Hey, hey! Pull the smoke out of the air, inhale it just for joy. This cosmic voice inside my head, the sound is every boy. Oh, my soul got a long way to go. Oh, my soul got a long way to go.
Hell yeah.
Yes,
See, that's why you want him on your album right there. Woo, Lord. Now I'm going to pass this. This is my Martin guitar. It's a Martin DR. And I'm going to pass it over to Sean.
Hold on for a second.
Yeah. We'll have to restool. And we're going to do a song now that Sean wrote.
Don't let it whip you.
From
Actually, I'm gonna need it around here.
featured on the Newfanglers CD. Those, well,
Pour your mic in there.
yeah.
I got this.
For anybody that hadn't been watching the podcast, just now hearing about the Newfanglers was a group project. It was a Waycross, Ware County, Brantley County songwriting project that was a story based on a true set of events. And
You think you need that or no?
you can check it out. It's called a tuner. Good?
I think I'm good.
He just bends it till it sounds right.
Anyhow, it was a songwriting project that started off in 2003 and culminated in 2007 with the release of this album. It's a what do you call that? A
Concept.
concept album, and it's called Blood in the Pines: The Story of Hollis Shepherd. And we all came together as songwriters, musicians, the best of the best. We tried to get them in on this album. In fact, we there was 2 tracks that Don Helms, the original steel guitar player for Hank Williams' Drifting Cowboys, is on the album. So we're very proud of this album, needless to say. And Josh was all over it. He played on several tracks, and this is one of them, this song that Sean wrote called Phone Call.
I was told my sister you rainy boys were no good. Now it's gotta go down just like I know it would. You're two of a kind. Made up my mind. I've been too kind. These are the ties that bind. It's time. It's time. I'm ashamed I let this go on. We'll settle face to face, not on some damn telephone. You come on my land, swinging hand, beat down my boy. Won't you come up in here, beat down this man? It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, just a fly on the wall.
That's
Folks,
awesome, man.
can't nobody do it like King Kirkland. And that's the truth.
Crawling King Kirk.
Oh, man.
Man,
Thank y'all for having me.
absolutely. Well, folks, we're going to take it out with another tale of the week. Here you go. If you will, place that tuner back in its appropriate spot. This tale of the week is brought to you by TCB, taking care of business. Because it was on this unfortunate date, about the time, well, right close to this date that this episode is being aired, back in 1977, that the king, another king, passed away. It was the king
There could only be one.
it was the king of rock and roll. I hope Little Richard didn't hear me say that, because he professes to be the king, which I have to agree with him. But now Elvis was a king in all kinds of ways, and I'm fixing to tell you about it anyhow. Down Home Band with Eddie Middleton was glad to be back in Panama City at the Sheraton on the beach. It was our 4th time returning to the lively nightclub on the beautiful Gulf Coast of Florida. Tuesday afternoon found the band, myself on rhythm guitar, John Randall Smith on drums, T. Wayne Scarborough on bass guitar, Ricky Alderman on keyboards, Joe Shearer on lead guitar, and Eddie on lead vocals, rehearsing on stage in the empty lounge. We were midway through our practice session, probably learning Marvin Gaye's funky new number, Got to Give It Up, when somebody interrupted us with the news that Elvis Presley was dead. The day was August 16th, 1977. John Lennon was famously quoted as saying that Elvis died the day he joined the army. A huge early Elvis fan, he was simply stating the obvious, that the spirited and rebellious rockabilly cat from Memphis, Tennessee, was a former shadow of himself. And Lennon no longer cared for the watered-down Hollywood movie songs that continued to make Elvis a fortune. As a kid, me and my older brother Gary owned one of the first Elvis film soundtrack albums, King Creole. We also attended just about every Big E B movie made that was shown at the Ritz and Lyric Theaters downtown Waycross, Georgia. By the time I was playing in a nightclub band in the mid-'70s, I had come to regard Elvis much like John Lennon did, as a sad, overweight caricature of himself. Regardless of what John Lennon and I thought, Elvis did set the bar in the beginning for future rock and rollers. He knocked down the doors and blazed the trail. Elvis's passing was of monumental importance, and that was not lost on me, nor the rest of the Down Home Band. We stopped in the middle of our rehearsal to discuss how we, as a musical unit, could pay tribute to such an icon. It was decided that we would put together a medley of his songs, Suspicious Minds, Can't Help Falling in Love, American Trilogy, and perform them that night. Written by Mark James, Suspicious Minds was Elvis's last #1 song on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 chart, peaking in 1969. Can't Help Falling in Love from the album Blue Hawaii was written by Hugo Peretti, Luigi Creatore, and George David Weiss. You didn't know I could talk foreign language, did you? And George David Weiss, using the melody based on a popular 1784 French love song, Plaisir d'amour, composed by Jean-Paul Martini.
Jean-Paul Van Damme.
Damn it. A concert director. Oh, no, before this is lost on you, it was based on a popular 1784 French love song, Plaisir d'amour, composed by Jean-Paul Martini, a concert director for Marie Antoinette, who lost her head every time she heard it.
Damn.
The song spent 6 weeks on the Billboard Adult Contemporary chart in 1961 and was the last song Elvis sang in concert on June 26, 1977. Mickey Newberry, songwriter and recording artist, arranged and recorded an American Trilogy for his 1971 concept album, Frisco Mabel Joy, based partly on another of his songs, San Francisco Mabel Joy, in which he writes about a Waycross, Georgia farm boy who hopped a freight train to L.A. Elvis chose an American Trilogy which used fragments of 3 19th century songs, Dixie, The Battle Hymn of the Republic, and All My Trials, a Bahamian lullaby, in January of 1972, performing it at his live concerts and recording it for the film documentary Elvis on Tour. A dramatic, show-stopping number, it was perfect to end our tribute medley to the King on the night of August 16th, 1977. We worked hard that afternoon, making sure our arrangement was spot on and our backup harmonies were tighter than Elvis's sequin jumpsuit. Eddie Middleton was the consummate frontman, a singer well-versed in all the musical genres that a South Georgia boy was exposed to during the 50s and 60s. Country, rock and roll, rhythm and blues, and beach music. Everywhere we went, audience responded to his personable, down-home nature and excellent vocals. That night was no exception. Some notes were out of Eddie's range, and as Elvis would sometimes yield the big finish to his backup singers, the Sweet Inspirations or the Stamps Quartet, Eddie would yield to Joe Shear, whose voice was so high he cracked a few Panama City tourist bifocals that evening when he sang the final, "His truth is marching on." Kind of like that. Not quite. I'll have to say that a shiver went down my backbone. My heart jumped up in my throat, and I may have shed a tear or two in that emotional finish. I closed my eyes, and instead of the corpulent, casino crooning Colonel Tom Parker crony, I saw Elvis Aaron Presley, looking lean, lip curling, and lawless, just like he did on my old album cover of King Creole. God rest Elvis Presley.
Went from King Creole to crawling King Kirkland.
Yes, sir. Yes, and even on this day, how many years ago was that? 77 to 2021. That was exactly 44 years. Is that right? 44? 44 years ago, folks, that Elvis laid it down. And he was the king in a lot of people's eyes. And this man sitting right here is the king in a lot of people's eyes as well. And we want to thank you, buddy. Thank you for being. Thank you. Push that mic around there. Let's get a few last words in there. But Josh, thank you so much, buddy, for being
Thank y'all, man. It was my
part
pleasure.
of this podcast. We had to have you on, man. Yes, we had to have you.
Right.
And
Yeah, we can't be doing a podcast about Waycross music without having Josh Kirkland.
absolutely not. And I think anybody that just got through watching this will know why now we had to have him on.
Yeah.
So we want to thank y'all for watching, and please rate, review, like, subscribe, ring all the bells and whistles, and
Do those things.
send us an email at somethingwaterpodcast@gmail.com.
Something in the Water podcast. So something water podcast. Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is South Georgia style, but you can look down below there in the
No, this time it's going to be in a plane flying over our heads, and there's like going to be a thing.
yeah, well, down below the video will be all the links that you can get familiar with us with.
Patreon.
Yes, and subscribe to our Patreon. We've got some crazy stuff coming your way there.
$5 foot long.
Yeah, $5 foot long. You get some extra.
It's only $5 a month, folks, and we get crazy on there.
Dave takes his shirt off. It's weird. We'll see y'all next time. We appreciate you.
When the cold black water finds its way across through your veins, it just might seal your fate. It just might seal your fate. It just see your face.